Who is the prophet like Moses? In Deuteronomy 18, God says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their brethren, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. In order to find out who this prophet is, we must first break down the criteria of being the prophet like Moses. The coming individual must be a lawgiver, he must be from the brethren of Israel, and he will not be sent immediately, but rather he will be sent after Moses at some unidentified time in the future. The Torah itself describes Moses' unique role. He brought a law, established a covenant, delivered a comprehensive religious code, and served as a direct messenger of God's legislation. This immediately distinguishes him from many other prophets. Performing miracles does not make one like Moses, because multiple prophets performed miracles but did not give a new law. This point is crucial. If the prophecy describes someone like Moses, then the most natural reading is that the future prophet must also be a lawgiver, someone who brings authoritative divine legislation, not merely a teacher or miracle worker. The next key phrase is from among their brethren. The Torah calls the Edomites and the Ishmaelites the brethren of Israel, using this exact phrasing. Thus, the text strongly indicates that the promised prophet would arise outside the tribes of Israel from a related Abrahamic nation. Rabbi Rashi, on his commentary of Proverbs 27, calls Ishmael the brethren of Israel. Now, when we read Deuteronomy 34, it says, never again did a prophet arise in Israel like Moses, which means if a prophet like Moses is still expected, he must arise outside of Israel from among a people considered the brethren of Israel. It's important to note that Christians themselves tend to say this Moses-like prophet is Jesus, but that falls flat on its face just from this one interaction we find with John the Baptist in the Gospel according to John. The Jewish leaders in Jerusalem sent priests and Levites to ask him who he was. He did not fail to confess, but confessed freely, I am not the Messiah. They asked him, then who are you? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Then they asked, are you the prophet? He answered, no. These two verses alone let us know that the first century Jews made a distinction between the Messiah and the prophet like Moses as two different figures. Now, who is the prophet like Moses? It is none other than the prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who fulfills each criteria. He came with a new law, i.e. the Quran. He comes from the brethren of Israel and was sent after Moses. The similarities between Moses and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam even extend beyond these criteria. For example, they both took part in the Exodus and fleeing from their place of birth to escape oppression. They were both warriors and statesmen. Even the late Reverend James L. Doe, who authored the Collins Dictionary Bible, wrote, the only man in history who can be compared even remotely close to Moses is Muhammad. History gives us one answer. One man who came after Moses from Israel's brethren, who spoke what God put in his mouth, who brought a complete law, led a people, and established the nation under divine guidance. That prophet was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.